got, how the mechanical aeration changes, and how thick the blanket is, and then we'll do the fires after. So I'm gonna start with raindrop because it's gonna be some overspray anyway. We'll, I don't know, apply for 10-15 seconds. You'll see, again, we have a pretty good wind. It's gonna push everything this direction. But we'll walk over after you've done all the application. Did you fix that? What the? Then I'll do horizontal, and then I'll do a roll on. So we'll kind of go in reverse order of operations.
I can take that in.
I don't know how long I sprayed, but I'll spray less amount of time. We'll finish it with 10. So horizontal, I had a picture of it in there when we moved to tell you from a hand line where you get to that 20-degree pattern. For us, we've been working with basically you put your hand on the bail or on the tip of the nozzle, rotate from your straight to your flog, and as soon as the stream touches your fingertips, that's about where we're looking. So I've got this here, and I rotate this, although this is a different nozzle, just until it touches my tips. That's the pattern I'm looking for, and then I'm looking horizontal. So I wouldn't want to overshoot the leading edge of the fire. That's how far back I need to be from the leading edge of the fire as I apply. Alright, we're going to roll on, back to our straight stream. You can see it's already a little thicker. So we would do the roll on and then move to the base sweep. So I've got my roll on. Give me that horizontal pattern, my 20-degree pattern. And now I'm pushing that bubble across the surface of the fire.
Pretty incredible.
If you want, before we start doing fires, y'all can take a look at the bubbles. You'll see too, that once I get in there, it's hard to tell like where you break up. But as I'm moving through this, right, this isn't going to seal back. If you have vapor below it, again, even this where you kind of see like it's still there, the bubbles are there, it's a weak point. That's all fluorine-free foams. It has nothing to do with this specific product. All products, this is the same. So, and then again, look at how long I applied my raindrop. Look how thin it is compared to that. Right? So even if I get this put out, I immediately have to come over and put down more. Because this is not going to be enough of a blanket to hold whatever vapor is needed.
We're going to safety.
One of their air aspirated nozzles that they brought. Get it at. They have. I mean, you can get one. I think I have some other ones we can. Well, I'll have to switch the nozzle if we do it. But they have. I mean, there's other ones that besides something like this, obviously, that you can still get some pretty good reach. Different than something this large. This obviously does a really good job with aeration, but for us, this is probably, or any air aspirated nozzle, foam tube, any of that we would use, would be used for the reapplication process or the stitching. So, all right, I'm gonna pop this back off, and then we're gonna do some fires. And then once we do that, we'll do raindrop in that back quadrant. We're already getting some. This is gonna slowly work its way into the bit, so it may take us. It won't take as long to put that out as it would have been if it had been clean. So we'll give it a shot. Here's some of the other types of options. Again, just not necessarily specific companies or vendors or whatever, but everybody makes different nozzles. They're clip-ons, not clip-ons. These foam tubes, they've got ones that are much smaller than this. Much longer application, and look how little we have on the vapor versus very short application here, and the blanket one's here. We stopped it on purpose. We didn't want to put it out all the way just so you can show you it without complete extinguishment. If this were AFFF, we had that little small flame left, we would have stopped. And it's like, oh, that's good, right? It's out of the way, away from life safety. If you think of the sitter as the aircraft, this would be a problem. Honestly, the AFFF would have fixed that, would have just taken that out. With this, you're going to have to actively put this out. So, and it starts small and it gets bigger. If we let it go, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. So we can show you, because otherwise I want y'all to come up and look at the blanket. to do that from a truck. So, if y'all want, you can come up. You're more, I mean, it's up to you whether you walk through it or not. Fuel that's against that metal piece, okay? And as the bubbles are getting over there, wind is pushing the foam into that, and it's not going out, right? Because the metal is not being cooled. So normally, again, right your left, wind pushes the foam over the top of the fuel. This is all stuff that's in the same spot. It's not enough foam level. Again, it's more than see what I'm saying? Like as soon as it touches the hot metal, you can see the bubbles just popping, right? You can't, it's being shoved into it, but never gets there. Without a film, that's what's gonna happen. And then the new one was. There's your seam. And you can see the dark. There's a good picture of it. See the dark foam. Yep, come closer. So, back seam, that was from a different application. Me pushing this one, separate application. This one. We basically have 3 blankets. And they're all connected by those seams. And they're burning on the seams. So this, as we'll step back here and just so you can see it, we're going to do a raindrop. This is when you wouldn't want to go direct attack. If I hit it with a straight stream right now,
You spray the fuel. And
yeah, even if I did a horizontal sweep, it's too much. It's not gentle enough. But this is not needing that much application for it. So we'll raindrop over the top of this. Even if there were no fire, we would still do that. Even if the fire had gone out, but I have these seams, I want to cover them. Does that make sense? All right, let's step back real quick so we don't all get sprayed. Raindrop. You go straight, yeah. We ended up putting it out. We covered most of the seams. We probably would put a little bit more here, but it didn't really mess up the blanket. The blanket stayed there. Now it looks more homogeneous. Yet sometimes it's going to be hard to tell unless you have somebody out on foot walking around being able to eyeball it. Just say, hey, yeah, no, a little more. Turn it back on. If I'm sitting in the truck, it may look great. It's just going to look, I mean, especially in the sunlight, it's going to be real hard. You may have to get closer look at it. You can see the edge back there, it's still burning. The foam's been going and pushing towards it, but again, until we actively hit every piece of fire and ignition source, it's not going to go out until the fuel burns out. That's what we'll have to do. The fuel will burn off before that's going to get put it out now.
That's probably due to the wind, no?
Yeah.
Degrading
It's just all on this end because the wind's pushed everything this way. It will happen. It's a matter of how long it takes to happen. That's the problem. Like I said, that's the hard part with forcing problems. Yeah. I've been a lot more accurate with the actual road. All of that has, you can see the bubbles are there, but it's still burning on top of it.
Yeah.